The time has come once again. We are live here for the Naris series, but of course, for Fisher Studios Truck Series race here tonight. Week 3, these drivers take on Las Vegas for the Casino Royale 225. As always, it is a pleasure to be here on a Friday night for Asphalt Racing Network's coverage here of Fisher Studios Truck Series race tonight. As always, my name is Tyler Jones, and I will be your commentator for the night, excuse me. Sorry, reading a chat at the same point in time. Welcome in, everybody. Whether you're joining us on Twitch or you're joining us live on YouTube, we are very appreciative to have you here. Lone qualifying starting now. There will be stages for this race. Stage 1 and 2 will be 40 laps apiece. Stage 3 being a whopping 70 laps before we claim a victory here tonight. Should be a really good race. Good number of guys on the field. About 17 total for the night. Of course, it is going to be 150 laps in total. Race time in sim will be about 6 p.m. So we possibly should finish under the lights here in Las Vegas. Peter, appreciate the Twitch sub. Qualifying starting now. Daryl Colts officially on the field for his qualifying time. Owen Lax on the field as well. Bradley Miner joins us once again for another week. James Mandarood on field. 82 of Stephen Hayes. Daryl Klotz still finishing his time out right now. 08 of Charlie Bennett joins us here tonight. Of course, the 32 of Josh Ryder. The 75 of Jordan Fisher. Lucas Lewis in the 73 on the field tonight. The number 8 of Ace Wells. '83 of Peter Hoppy. Thomas Adams just starting his qualifying times in the 33. Nathan Hawks in the Ram. Number 10. One of the 4 Rams we have on field here tonight. 88 of Brendan Carroll. Mark Randall Jr. in the 01. Also sporting a Ram. Hunter Battersby in the 7 Pennzoil tonight. Then as of right now, last but not least, your Season 2 Cup Series champion in the number 4 Dodge Ram, Corey Rainey. Field is about set now. Three drivers, now two, still finishing up their qualifying times, and we will hit you with the grid in just a few short moments. See who's got the fastest time tonight and who set that pole position. Of course, if you're just joining us, welcome in to the Fisher Studios Truck Series presented by Asphalt Racing Network. We are here 2 days a week for NARIS, 5 days a week in total on the Twitch. Schedule on screen now. American Stock Car Racing, Mondays at 9:05 on the Twitch. You can find on the top left-hand side of your screen. Right Time ARCA on Wednesdays and the Truck Series on Thursdays at 9:05 for their green flag. And of course, what you're watching right now, NARIS on Fridays for the Fisher Studios Truck Series and on Saturdays for the Gen 6 Cup Cars. Dual streamed, whichever one you prefer. You are more than welcome to join us on green flag at about 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Now, looking at the schedule for NARIS, we are here there we go. We are here at week 6, left-hand column, week number 6 for Las Vegas. Phoenix comes next week, then we go to Bristol. Then it's Kansas and Richmond. Week 17 and 18, the red, white, and blue is our all-star race. We go to Charlotte for the All-Star Open. The following week, we go back to the same track for the All-Star race. Then week 19, we go to Charlotte for the points race. Looking forward to a good track, in my opinion, would be Indy. Another crown jewel that is at week 25. Then, of course, another crown jewel, Darlington, for the 28th race of the season. Nashville being our season finale. Then we move to the playoffs for the round of 16 starting at Chicagoland, ending at Bristol. The round of 12 starting at Las Vegas. So a lot of drivers will be familiar with that tonight moving forward, but multiple weeks in between. That round of 12 will finish at Charlotte. Then we go to the round of 8 starting at Kansas. That concludes at a lottery track being Talladega. And then one more time, we go back home to Homestead, Miami for the championship race. Will Corey Rainey take it 2 years in a row? Will we see a resurgence from another possible new winner? Or will we possibly see Owen Lax making a return for another season championship? A lot of questions still need to be answered. We have a long season to go ahead of us, so we can't get too ahead of ourselves this early on. Of course, now is the time to drop in chat who you think could possibly walk away with the win here tonight. While you guys make your picks, we're going to go to a commercial break. First one of the night before we go 25 laps ad-free. You still have time to share the stream, get your snacks, and huddle up around that TV because we are going racing very soon. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Your banana pudding, you taste my banana pudding.
It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup messy? Yes, it's messy.
Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
Warm-ups still underway right now. Drivers trying to get acclimated with the track, trying to get acclimated around each other, and of course trying to get some very pivotal laps in for practice if they already haven't before we get there. Of course, we have the dash cams, or excuse me, the roll bar cams, nose cam of drivers tonight, the rear cam as well. You'll see some suspension action depending on where they're at. Then, of course, the inside gyro cam showing the embankments. Our beautiful helmet cam. And no other than the ARN blimp cam. It's going to be a great race. I can tell you that for sure. Minute and 26 seconds left before we go green here. Of course, weather here right now, a beautiful 73 degrees. Only 9-mile-per-hour wind with clear skies. And only 18% humidity out here in the desert. It's actually not too bad. I expected it to possibly be a little bit worse for wear for these drivers. But it doesn't seem to be too bad for them here tonight. So that should be a big, big positive. Of course, your takeaway as the sun starts to go down is going to be a little bit more of a game, especially when it comes down to the air. The air is going to be very different here. The later it gets, the tire fall off could be very stronger here in the late stages of the race than it will be in the beginning. That's something we're going to have to take into accountability and pay attention to. Of course, normally the high side prevails at Vegas. Will we see a high side resurgence here tonight? Or will it be a mix of lane 2x2s, bottom side, top side, of course? Drivers able to use that apron on the front stretch right there. They're able to dive under that apron for the position. Of course, it is not mandatory for a driver that is on the track to the right side of anybody diving under pits to give that position back. Will that cause accidents? Will that be a problem at some point in time? We're going to see a lot of people dive down there at specific points and times. Depending on how bad the racing is with that apron, it actually might cause a lot of cautions. I don't see it happening too much, but of course it's still too early to call. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on as it goes on. Right now, cars ready to grid. Official grid on your screen now. Peter Hoppy takes away the pole position. Corey Rainey in a very close second. Then, of course, Daryl Klotz in third. Charlie Bennett in fourth place. Rounding out your top five is going to be the 8 car of Ace Wells. Brad Miner in sixth. Jordan Fisher in 7th. Nathan Hawks in 8th. Owen Lax in 9th with James Mandarud rounding out your top 10. Just outside of our top 10 is going to be the 11 of Hunter Battersby, which had qualified in 11th, but has an EOL for not being at the drivers' meeting. So that 11 will start at the rear of the field, moving Josh Ryder and everybody else up a position. So Josh Ryder did qualify 12th, but will be in 11th. Lucas qualified in 13th, but will be in 12th. Stephen Hayes in 14th, but in 13th position now. Thomas Adams qualified 15th, moves up to 14th. Brennan Carroll qualified 16th, moves up to 15th. Mark Randall in 17th, moves up to 16th. And then, of course, Zachary Tyler in 18th place. Battersby getting that last position. Seems like Zachary Taylor is not gridded. You guys know what time it is. On the Twitch side, you know exactly what blurb I want you guys to play when we hit that green flag next time by. We are moments away from a green flag. Who will take the race here tonight? Pace car coming around the last time before it goes off the track. Entering 3 and 4 with a beautiful sun in the sky. Pace car makes the left-hand turn. Peter Hoppy, your pole sitter, goes green in the restart zone. Let's go racing indeed. Hoppy and Bennett side by side. Rainey in the back of the field now. Actually seems to not be on track at all. Wonder what happened with him early on. Could be having connectivity issues. Charlie Bennett now in the lead. Brad Miner and Peter Hoppy close second. They are side by side right now entering turn one. Hoppy gets second place back over Miner. You're seeing a lot of 2x2 action. A little bit of a wiggle back there from the 12. Believe that is the 12. That is an incorrect number on the 12 car. Few incorrect numbers on the screen here tonight. It's going to be a little bit difficult to track now. The 12 car of Nathan Hawks is registering as 10 on your screen. So the 12 is the 10 of Hawks. Charlie Bennett still in the lead at this point in time. And that was kind of a shocker. Didn't expect Bennett to take the lead on very well. Rainey now joining the field. See him exiting pits there as they go into 1 and 2. Still a sort of strong outside line right now. You're seeing outside line try to prevail. Not many people in it so far. A lot within our top 10 in that outside line, but it goes single file back pretty early on. Of course, the beautiful blimp cam in the sky showing you all the action on the track here. Fight for the lead up in front. A little bit of a stack up there. 3 wide in the middle of the front pack. Hawks making some moves right now, trying to get him up to the front of the pack. Gains 2 positions that time. Now seated in 3rd place. 25 with the wreck. Darrell Cults around on the infield. Caution out. As the 25 and the 73 of Lucas Lewis. 5 laps in the race. First caution flag already in the air. Let's go ahead and roll back. See exactly what happened here between these two. It is going to be the 25, the green car on your screen right there in the middle of that staggered 3 wide. Looks like Klotz just got a little loose, trying to make a position change. It unfortunately caused him to spin out. You see him just break loose there. Probably a little bit too aggressive in the throttle. A little bit of a tap to that right rear or the left rear quarter panel. Shouldn't be such bad damage, if any damage at all. Of course, he's down pits this time, so we'll be able to see that damage when he goes in. We'll pull up the pit time. Overshot the pit box. That's going to cost him a few valuable seconds. So didn't cost him too much. 17.5. He was in and out. 17.5. Lucas Lewis as well. He was a 15.3. So not much damage on the cars or on the trucks. Time of the caution. Now currently your leader, Brad Miner, he did not go into pit. He stayed out of pits. He's the only one to stay out of pits. Him and Corey Rainey both chose to stay out. Rainey might go in this time as he's getting his lap back. He went a lap down. He wasn't on the field for the start of the race. And does. Rainey does go in this time. So Brad Miner is your leader at this point in time. Pretty good restart so far. A lot of fighting we saw. And that was what we expected. Driver's doing a really good job in the front end, trying to control the race early on. Of course, not everything goes your way sometimes. You've got to work through it as you can. Now, pace car off once again. Green flag back out. Bradley Miner in the lead. Single file on the top side so far. Charlie Bennett going back for his position. That is something we expected early on now. Now Bennett back in the lead. Brad Miner in second. Ace Wells in third. Owen Lax up to fourth place. 5 positions gained from his starting grid spot so far tonight. Peter Hoppy, 4 positions down from the pole, sitting in your 5th place position right now. Just outside of the top 5, Josh Ryder and Nathan Hawks. Nathan Hawks just passing Ryder to take that 6th place position. You're seeing a 2 wide there, getting pretty close to each other on the outside. And the second caution of the night already out. This time looks to be James Manderud in the back of the field. Tough situation. James jumping to pits. Let's go ahead and go back and see exactly what's going on here, which led him to jump himself to pits. '73 of Lucas Lewis. See that from a chopper cam here. Looks like Lucas just broke loose. Ah, Lucas hit the wall. And that spun out Manderud. Mandarud, of course, obviously had enough damage on the vehicle. He had to go to pits. He had no choice but to go to pits. Second time Lucas has been in a wreck. First one, he got taken out. That one, the wall took him out and led him to hit the right side of Mandarud, putting him nose first into the wall. Of course, a lot of drivers in pits now. "13 laps, 14 laps in this time by." The biggest question: will Charlie Bennett be able to hold this lead? It's about the toughest question. Gets a little bit difficult for some of these drivers as well. The longer they get into this race, the trickier it gets on these tires. So now we'll go to choose cone. This time by. Drivers will choose their positions again and go back green in just a few moments. Green flag out. Charlie Bennett in the lead right now. Lax in a close second place. Ace Wells in third. Hoppy in fourth. Ryder rounding out your top five. Jordan Fisher just sitting outside of that top five in sixth place. There's already a good distance breakup from a lot of the drivers within the top five. That happened pretty early on, something you didn't expect to happen early on, this early into the race as well. Of course, that was on the control car. They probably weren't expecting him to jump at that point in time, or some drivers are just trying to pace it around respectfully on the track right now. It is still very early in this race, and you don't want to make a mistake that'll cost you the entirety of your race. Of course, Bennett's still in first place right now. Lax looking to make a move on the outside line. Will he be able to get it? They are trying their hardest to get up to Charlie Bennett right now. Charlie has been on a warpath to prove himself. He came in a little rocky at the end of last season. Had to have a talk to a few times from race control to get the driving a little bit cleaner. Now we're seeing him in a lead position in just a few months, showing that hard work does pay off. Lax able to take that position on the high side, dives back down low. The 14, the Dodge Ram of Owen Lax, now in the lead with only a 0.1 gap over second place being Charlie Bennett right now. Jordan Fisher up into third. Hoppy in fourth. Wells in the top five. Ryder now in 6th place, and these top 7, 8 cars are doing pretty good at trying to keep the momentum together. You see a lot of single file action in the back. Hunter Battersby in the mix in 9th. He's kind of falling off a little bit there. Needs to get in that draft, get himself back up to the top with those drivers. If not, he's going to fall back to that 10th place position with Darrell Klotz and that secondary pack. Battersby seems to be pulling it together a little bit, still not as close as you want to be. Of course, draft is a very big benefactor here at the race, so something he kind of wants to keep rolling with, choosing that low side that has that momentum right now. He's back in the draft. He's reeled himself back in at the rear tail of this front pack of 9 cars. Lax still in the lead. Fisher looking to possibly take that from him. They're going to go side by side into the entrance here of 3 and 4. Who will come out in the lead? Looks to be still Lax right now. Fisher diving under the apron, not able to get much time back. Loses 2 positions in doing so. Fighting for that 2nd position back right now on the outside of Peter Hoppy. A lot of wiggling there. Drivers trying not to spin their cars out. Still trying to get acclimated to the track. Something we expected to happen early on here was the tires. Of course, during these green flag runs, not much gas either, of course. Gas strategy is kind of out of the question now, as a majority of people have pitted on lap 6. 2 people at lap 13. That being Brad Miner at lap 13, as well as Brennan Carroll. He also went into pits at lap 13. Stephen Hayes went in at lap 15, but he is a lap down right now. He's actually 2 laps down right now. So everybody else but those 2 have pitted at lap 6. Of course, with these runs, you have 34 to possibly 36 laps of fuel. You could probably stretch it a little bit longer in the draft, in the corners, but it's still going to be very difficult to halt your gas deficiency in these stages. Mind you, stage 1 and 2 mirror each other at 40 laps apiece. Final stage will be 70 laps, counting your entire 150 in total. Right now, Owen Lax still in the lead at lap 26 of 150. 2 cautions for 5 laps of pacing. 3 lead changes so far, but that is expected to grow with due time. Another caution out in the backfield. Not a good situation there. Seems to be the 7 of Battersby. Actually started on the high side. That was the 12 who was showing as the 10 of Nathan Hawks that took out Battersby there. "12 went up high, took out the 73 once again, then dove back down low after that contact and sent the 7 up into the wall, nose first. Once again, Lucas Lewis getting the short end of the stick. He has been in all cautions so far on the night. He is a caution magnet right now. And it's a tough situation to be in as a driver. You don't want to have all that damage on your truck. The longer you stay down pit lane, the worse it gets for you, the farther you drop back on the standings. So, of course, not what Lewis wants himself, but just wrong place, wrong time. That looking to be on the entire fault of the 12 of Nathan Hawks. Now, majority of drivers down pit road. Klotz stayed out, Brad Miner stayed out, and Rainey stayed out as well. Miner last pitted at lap 13, so he should be good on gas. The question is the tires. Will his tires hold him to the end? Owen Lax gets out in 4th place, with Fisher rounding out your top 5 now. After a good pit cycle for both of their crews. Just outside in 6th place is Hoppy. Charlie Bennett in 7th. Ace Wells in 8th. Nathan Hawks in 9th. Josh Ryder in 10th. Rounding out your top 10. Just outside of top 10, you may ask, who is there? Brendan Carroll. Mark Randall in 12th. Thomas Adams in 13th. Battersby still in pits at 14th position right now. Lucas Lewis exiting pits to put himself in 14th, and Battersby down to 15th. Stephen Hayes still on the track, a lap down. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. We're not going to have many laps left within stage 1 when we come back green.
Haley, Jeff Gordon, a bunch of engineers. And then I got this JJ win, Coke 600 win. You only got it. Thanks for joining. I don't know what you did this time. I do have Truex. Color Pro. One of 182, I think I see. I think.
Now, of course, Klotz, your leader, with the green flag back out now. Single file restart this time. Of course, we have that rule. If we can't go 10 green, we will have single file restarts. Now 11 more laps to go.
Let me double check.
Lax back in the front now. Fisher in second.
120. It's, 2020. The number is 73 on it. Can y'all see where that blue light? Does it mess up like the lighting on the corner? And I turned off.
Lax still in the lead. 9 more laps to go now. Fisher in a close second place. Wells in third. Will Lax take it? Not this time. Caution back out again.
Thank you. my color. Young kid, you figured out this? You must not want that bad. Fine. Oh my goodness, y'all. Man, think about it. Something about it, man. Color Pro Mark Tracks. Number 19 goes to Mike. Thank you. Must be a big Truex fan right there. You have to be. Alright. I can get up. Hey, Mark Truex. This is Mark Truex. Alright, give me y'all better be a minute. Thank you for that, buddy. Share the show. Thank you for doing it, bro.
Trying to figure out where this caution is. I don't see anything. There it is. Found it. 87 of Brad Minor. I was trying to read telemetry, but it was not showing up at all. They went 3 wide here. 87 unfortunately came up into the 32 with Josh Ryder. Josh Ryder got the brunt of it. Not too much damage, though. It's just the rear, so it's going to definitely affect the arrow for him.
Sounds good, man. Tell me. I got it.
Now Lax still in the lead at the time of the caution.
I got this. I thought that was pretty dope right there. That's the thing right there.
Single file restart again. We're going to go back to racing. Not many laps left to go here. Green flag back out. Lax in the lead. 4 more laps to go. Fisher fighting with Lax here, side by side. Fisher got the lead for just a few seconds. He lost a little bit of it. Now having to get back into it with Lax. still in the lead. They are going to be fighting door to door. Fisher, Lax, back and forth. Lax gets it on the bottom. 3 more laps to go in stage 1. Will Jordan prevail? Almost had contact there with the 8 of Wells. They're going to be almost 3 wide. 14 goes up with a late block to the 8. Keeps that position running right now in the lead. 75 of Fisher trying to dig deep again. Getting a lot of drafts on this high side now. Will he make a run to the inside? Doesn't have the opportunity to get all the way to the inside. He uses that bottom line, but not a good enough run to possibly pass for position. Now Fisher in a situation. Is he going to go low? And does. Before the 8 of Wells blocked that line. He's mirroring Owen here right now with 1 to go. Green and white checkered flag will be waved this time. But the question is, will it be a winner for Lax, or will it be for Fisher? Lax goes high, breaks that draft. Fisher trying to get the position, not going to be able to. Looking to be the number 14 for stage 1. Owen Lax with a stage 1 victory after a tough fought battle with a 75 of Fisher. Now that stage 2 is about to be set, drivers in pits this time, you've got to wonder who's going to prevail the strongest. We've seen Lax have a really good car early on so far, was managed the stage 1 victory. Charlie Bennett did also have a really good run there. He started in second, held the lap, or excuse me, fourth. He held the line for a very long time in the lead. We could actually pull up the tracker to see how many laps he's had so far in the lead himself. 14 laps himself in the lead. Lax had 19. So, I mean, they're pretty close. Hoppy, who was your pole sitter, has only led 1 lap of this race so far, so he has a lot of redemption here. He still needs to kind of get together in order for him to get that position back. He's already seen the racing for stage 1. Stage 2 is about to mirror stage 1 with 40 more laps. So, of course, we will be able to see if he can get back into it or if it will be another dominant Owen Lax stage 2. Now Lax and Fisher are going to start line 1. Nathan Hawks and Ace Wells will be line 2. Rounding out your top 5 is Peter Hoppy, Charlie Bennett in line 3. Lucas Lewis and Brad Miner in line 4. Josh Ryder and Daryl Klotz rounding out the top 10 in line 5. Now green flag back out. Lax already in the lead and a good position. Number 1, Jordan Fisher trying to make work of it again. Going to the inside. They are close to being door to door. Fisher just gets the advantage on the bottom. No draft help on the top side for Lax. Well, staying behind the 75. Will Jordan go up when he's clear and block Lax from getting that position back? Goes to the apron, gets a good position advantage off of that. Now fully clear of Lax. No help on the outside. Just these 3 cars broken off from the pack for a long ways. Charlie Bennett's almost a whole second and a half back from the top 3 right now. And it is going to be a dogfight between these 3 cars for the lead. Fisher already gained that position. Now it's up to Wells. Fisher still in the lead. Ace Wells in second. Owen not where you expected him to be. He's sitting in third, but that also might be a comfortability factor. He might be letting these guys wear out their tires, burn up their gas, and he's going to sit here and use the fuel advantage. Not really getting that much of an advantage. The 75 and the 8 have a contact. 8 into the infield. Regained, no caution out that time. Now Lax takes the lead back because of that. Wreck in the backfield. Stephen Hayes to the inside wall. Following the 82 of Stephen Hayes with the 4 car of Corey Rainey. Pure racing accident there. Hayes, for some reason, was going down and went into the 4 car as there seemed to be lap traffic on the bottom side. So Rainey would have had the disadvantage for that if Hayes stayed high. See that car slowly approaching, falling to the back of the field. Rainey was the one most impacted from it. Rainey stayed low. He really didn't look like he moved up at all. 82 of Hayes starts to make that come down as Rainey does go up, trying to avoid that car, expecting Hayes to stay to the outside. So a little bit of miscommunication there from a racing incident. Them both trying to avoid that car in front of them. That happens. Things happen during racing. Unfortunately, that wreck was one of them. Now you're going to see our top 5 come into pits this time. Brad Miner stays out again, so he will claim the first place position. Now, of course, this is the 6th caution of the night. Roughly about 16 laps pacing now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and show that on screen. Exactly right. 16 laps of pacing at this point in time. 51 laps in at a 150. 100 more laps to go. Only 6 lead changes to this point in time. Leaders have kind of really been dominating this race when they've touched the lead. It's been difficult for any driver to really navigate the track or get around them at all, so... or get up to them at that point in time as well. Now back green. This time, Brad Miner holding the lead. Josh Ryder in second. Wells in third. Rainey up to fourth. And Owen Lax just behind in fifth place. 2 Rams, 3 Rams. Back to back to back. Rainey, Lax, and Nathan Hawks in sixth place right now with a little bit of a break up. Caution already out in the backfield. That is Peter Hoppy in the 08 of Charlie Bennett. Hoppy almost flipped there. Just a little bit of contact. It all went south. Seventh caution of the night out so far here at Las Vegas for the Casino Royale 225. We're going to hit a commercial break, and we'll be back. We are back live here. Crazy, caution, back out. We are green flag once again. Josh Ryder in the lead at this point in time. Ace Wells in second, Rainey in third. Owen Lax in fourth, Lucas Lewis in fifth place. Rainey now doing a good job as he is sitting in second, back up to his qualifying position. Was a tough run for him to get back up here. Was a tough run for him, as he wasn't on the track when we first initially went green. But of course, came back up on the track and has now pulled himself to the lead over Josh Ryder. Rainey's had a bit of a struggling start for the season. He's still trying to look, he's still looking for that first victory. Of course, still trying to get it all done. Not only in the trucks, but in Cup as well. There we go. Everything good now? Seem to be having a little bit of drop frame there for my side. Maybe not for everybody's side. Corey Rainey doing a good job to try to hold this lead position right now. Finish starting, we do apologize. Getting dropped frames right now. Not many though, so I don't know what's going on. Ace Wells now in the lead. Wells starting in fifth place here tonight. Now puts himself in a good position. Of course, halfway through stage 2. There's still a lot to go here. Can he pull it off? He's got to not watch that mirror as the 14 of Owen Lax is just behind. We've seen Lax have a dominant stage 1. Now he's trying to do it all over again for stage 2. Lax getting closer to that lead position right now as he is encroaching on that top side. 3 wide here for the lead. Wells still has it just barely. Fisher in second. Lax gets the advantage on the top side. Still 3 wide for the lead right now. Fisher looking to slowly lose that position and go back to third. Should get a little bit more momentum here on the bottom. Does not actually. Now it's a sandwich between Wells having to keep it in the middle of the track. Lax in the lead right now. Corey Rainey in second place. Now moves down to third as Wells gets the move on the inside, goes up to the high side. Rainey keeps his nose clean there. 15 to go, stage 2. And here we see Lax back in the lead. Side by side they go for second place. Jordan Fisher now back up into fourth. Ryder in fifth. Hoppy still looking to get that pole position back. He's only led one lap of this race. He's currently in sixth place right now. Lucas Lewis in seventh. Klotz in eighth. Hawks in ninth with Brad Miner just behind in 10th place. Pack really spread out. Hawks, a little loose there. Able to recover it. The 08 of Bennett in 11th. The 12 of Mark. The 01 of Mark Randall in 12th. Lax doing a lot of movement up there. 13 laps to go. He's trying to give a little bit of a distance to himself and the cars behind. Now Wells goes up to second place, kind of blocks that high side line there. 75 not really wanting to make a move this early. 4 not able to get up there in time, has to go back low. Wells comfortably sitting in second place, but not for long. He's got 2 cars trying to advance. The 75 is going to meet him on the outside. Gets a pass there, moves up to second. Corey Rainey going to jump in and get up in that draft. He needs to stay within that draft to keep trying to advance his positions here, as draft is going to be a very key factor to the outcome of this race. Lax still in first with 10 laps to go, following Ace Wells as he is now all the way down in 9th position. Lucas Lewis 5 positions up from where he started in 8th place right now. Klotz just in front. Lax still controlling the field though as the leader. Fisher in second, Rainey in third. The fight shall begin now. It's been happening for a lot of laps so far. But when they cross the line for 8 to go this time, it's going to kick in even harder than what you've already been seeing on your screen. Seven laps to go now. Lax is in the lead by at least 0.2 of a second right now to Fisher. But there is a single file train coming on the top side, other than the 87 of Brad Miner, who refuses to get up inside that single file run. He is staying on the bottom. That might actually benefit him too. 6 more laps to go now. Rainey now shooting to the bottom side, trying to go for a position here at a very pivotal point in the stage. Miner now going to that top side. Looked like he made contact with the wall, saw some sparks there, saw him get a little bit loose, was able to maintain and recover. Now that's going to kind of screw the fours lineup as he can't get back up in front of him for draft. He's not clear yet. So he's going to have to pray for the draft behind him that's going to be able to push him. Lost a position there to Miner, has to jump back in now, so he's down 1 position in 4th. Can Fisher catch up to Lax for the end of the stage is the biggest question here. Fisher slowly gaining momentum. Same thing we saw last stage, trying to dive low on Lax to get that position. Not going to work right now. Going to that apron, Lax is going to block it as well. He's not going to let Fisher get that run easy. Now the 87 of Miner going to dive into the inside of the 75. Trying to get that second place position before the end of the stage. Miner not able to do it. Seems to be very difficult to pass within draft here. Especially when you have nobody else on the bottom side. Like I said early on, this is probably going to be a draft-dependent track for some passing. And of course, right now it's showing the exact same thing. You really need a strong line with a strong driver behind you to kind of let you get that position. Of course, now 2 laps to go. Doesn't seem like Fisher's going to be able to do it. So, of course, stage 2 is going to go to Owen. Still got a few more corners to turn. But what we've seen at the end of stage 1, the 75 didn't have it in him to be able to get him. He was running as clean and as fast as he possibly could, but not availing that situation. 1 more corner to make. Lax to the straightaway. 75 not going to be able to do it. Stage 2 goes to Lax. Owen Lax, your stage 1 and 2 winner. Stage 3, 70 laps, just a few moments away. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Getting ready to go back green here for stage 3. 70 laps to decide who wins the race. Owen Lax has taken stage 1 and 2 so far. Now in the restart zone, back green flag. Owen Lax in the lead, 75 of Fisher on the outside. Fisher just gets the advantage over Lax. How long will it last, though? A huge train already meeting the back bumper of the 14. Fisher holds on to it for a little bit there. Lax getting a little wiggly, going to the high side, trying to get some side draft. Lax gets the lead back within the lap. Fisher just has it by a nose. Fisher not clear yet to dive down low. He's in kind of a tough situation. Does he want to stay on that high side? Does he want to try to clear himself down low to get in front of Lax? Lax gets the lead back on the bottom, holding it strong, comes back to 75 of Fisher. Now Fisher pulling away with the lead up front. He's added a little bit of time to Owen now. And the 9th caution of the night out. That actually registered, so we were able to find it without having to scroll. Brad Miner and Charlie Bennett involved in that one. See here the 08. The 87 had some contact. 87 went nose diving into the wall. He's got a lot of left front end damage. A lot of left front end damage. Now the 87 down, pits this time. He's going to have a lot of damage to have to take off of that car now. Jordan Fisher in the lead. Jordan Fisher in the lead, coming back for this restart. Jordan Fisher coming back for this restart. Now, how long will these guys stay green? It's going to be a very long stage, something that they're not used to. Of course, they're expecting this long of a stage here for stage 3, but it's going to be very challenging. The biggest question is who will prevail. Fisher in first place. Lax in second. Klotz is in third. Corey Rainey in fourth place with Hawks. Rounding out your top 5. Now, of course, single file restart. We're back green. Fisher in the lead. Lap 11 of 70. Putting a good sized gap onto the 14 of Lax right now. Of course, we've seen Lax do his best. He's been able to pull that gap back multiple times so far. Obviously, will be able to take down that gap once again. It'll probably just take him some time to get these tires warmed up to do so. Lax having a dominant night here so far. As of right now, he has led 42 laps of this race. Fisher has led 14 now that time past the line. He's currently in the lead. Klotz has only led 3. Rainey led only 3 laps. The last one in our top 5 has led 4. All of our top 5 right now has had their fair share of running laps here in the lead tonight. So, of course, all these drivers are still wanting to get that position back. But the question is, when can they do it? And will they have the opportunity to do it? Right now, Lax is slowly dialing back into 75 of Fisher. Klotz not too far behind. And then Wells in that 4th spot. Everybody really single file now, trying to catch up to that leader. Of course, when they do, we'll start to see a fight for that position again. Pretty good racing so far from what we have seen. Of course, it's never going to be the cleanest. You're always going to have some situations. Klotz just lost it on the infield there. Rainey followed him down. That one did not register on the recorded events, but of course we watched that in the background of the screen, so that's easy to find here. Klotz hit the wall. Unfortunately, Rainey right there didn't expect the 25 to tap the wall. Klotz went in, down low, managed to recover it. As the same with the 4. Not that bad of a situation. Rainey probably has a little bit of nose damage. That is definitely very fixable. Now, of course, you're seeing Daryl Klotz still in pits. Corey Rainey now exiting his pits. Jordan Fisher still in the lead. Owen Lax just behind in second place. They both last pitted at lap 81. We are on lap 97 right now. 98 this time past the line. Go back green at 99 unless it's single file, which it is. So we should be back green this time then. Few minor incidents tonight, some major incidences that have costed a lot of time for some drivers. Nothing too egregious. Race control still has a lot to deal with as they're going to have to review all of this. But at the end of the day, nothing that would really award a strict penalty due to negligence from a singular driver. And that's, of course, something you never want to see. A lot of people do have conflicts with each other. Some people get into wrecks and feel like it was personal, or, you know, at the end of the day, things happen. You can't really hold a grudge long. Unfortunately, sometimes those grudges still carry over weeks on end. So, thankfully, nothing too crazy so far here tonight. Of course, any wreck is not a good wreck. Kind of changes the pace of the race, changes the maneuverability of the lead pack cars. Now your top 5 for this restart: Fisher, Lax, Hoppy, and Hawks, with Charlie Bennett in the 5 spot. Green flag back in the air on the 75 of Fisher this time. Owen Lax looking to try to get that lead back. Currently in second, only 0.2 off from Jordan Fisher. Lax in a close second with the 83 of Hoppy. They're trying to gain as much time up to Jordan as possible. They still have at least 50 laps to do it. Now, looking at the lead, Fisher is slowly getting a lot of competition behind him. He's going to have to start fighting slowly but surely over time. Lax in second. There's a little bit of a fight back here on the low side with Hoppy and Wells. Hoppy going to lose that position there to Wells. Possibly a few more wiggling back there from the 32 of Josh Ryder. Could have been a little bit of contact in that 3 wide. Could really get you loose. Put you in a situation you don't want to be in, nor you would be comfortable in. Of course, Ryder now down to 7th. Fisher still in the lead. Trying to do a good job of keeping Owen Lax at bay right now. Mind you, Lax has a lot of laps led here tonight. Jordan Fisher leading 27 laps. Owen Lax at 42. Fisher trying to keep adding to that total. Lax looked to pass, but here comes the 4-car of Rainey. Now puts himself in 2nd place. Rainey still fighting for a close 2nd right now with Lax. Rainey gets the advantage just by a nose. Won't really be able to do much with it other than drop to the apron and try to gain that time back. Lax now puts himself in 2nd place. Rainey going to be able to fight for it and give himself that position back as they are slowly getting closer to Fisher up front. No one really able to advance fully. Fisher with a block on Lax there that time. Lax a little squirrely there, lost the position to Rainey. Now Rainey trying to pass Fisher for the lead. Gonna hold him down, not letting him go to the apron. Rainey now officially back in the lead here. Brady's only led a handful of laps today so far. Only 5 laps led now. About 48 more laps to go in the race. And it's going to be a nail biter. Who will be able to walk away with the victory is the biggest question. Of course, Corey Rainey holding it down in first place right now. Fisher Studios Truck Series at Vegas. 113 laps at a 150 in. We're going to hit another commercial break, and we'll be back with more racing action. Don't go nowhere.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it? no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The afterchecks are lit. Count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory, this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next lap is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You're gonna say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can in one final shot.
Gotta earn this thing right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
We are back live right now, back to the Fisher Studios Truck Series, lap 123 this time by Jordan Fisher. You're watching him exit pit road from a pit strategy there. Now putting him in 9th place. Corey Rainey still holds the lead strong by about 3 total seconds. He is yet to go in pits, possibly trying to wait for the shakeup on the track. More people to break up in the field, which would give him a good position going into pits and also exiting as well, as there's not going to be a big draft pack run to pass. Of course, he still has to worry about the next 5 cars still all on that lap with him to lead a lap. That being the 2nd place of Josh Ryder, 3rd place of Mark Randall, 4th place of Charlie Bennett, Thomas Adams in 5th, and Brendan Carroll in 6th. All currently lead lap drivers right now. Brady still holding that lead. It's pretty crazy to think. He qualified in 2nd. Didn't start with the rest of the cars on the grid. Came out of pits and has been trying to make it his night ever since he started this race. Now, of course, Mark Randall Jr. holding on to 3rd. The biggest question is going to be, when are these pit cycles going to open for these top 6 drivers? Still have yet to go into pits. Looks like Randall's going to be in this time, as well as Josh Ryder. Now, of course, 4 car in pits this time. Charlie Bennett comes in as well. Now, Thomas Adams in the lead here. It's kind of calming down a little bit here. A lot of spread out driving. This is kind of what you expected this late into the race as well. Was driving to kind of filter out a little bit. You're going to see a lot of people slowly but surely touch the lead for a little bit. Some drivers, just let it get away from themselves entirely, where you got a bad wreck or just off strategy, and that kind of cost you not only your positions, but a lot of damage on the car as well. Right now, still not many people on lead lap. About 10 drivers on lead lap. Brendan Carroll is currently your leader. Fisher not too far behind. 7.5 seconds. Still a manageable gap with about 20 laps to go. Hoppy just behind Fisher. You know, now that I think about it, I don't think Hoppy has even controlled a lap of this race in the lead other than his restart, and has not. He's only got one lap recorded to him in the lead. Brendan Carroll holding strong in the one spot. Fisher not too far behind in second. Hoppy in third, doing what he needs to try to gain that position on Fisher in second. Ace Wells currently rounding out your 4th spot with Corey Rainey now coming back out of the 5 spot. Brendan Carroll now into pits. That's going to push Rainey up a position. Jordan Fisher back in the lead. Drivers giving it their all here like they always do. Now Fisher and Hoppy going to get a little bit of a battle here rolling. Hoppy in the lead. The biggest question is, how long will he be able to hold it? We've seen Fisher have a dominant stage so far. He hasn't been able to replicate what Owens had. He's been doing pretty good at where he's at right now so far into this race. Of course, just about maybe 10 laps behind Lax's stage 1 and 2 leads with 33, and that coming with just majority of these in stage 3, but of course a big brunt of that put on in stage 2. Now 13 to go in the race. Hoppy actually might have what he needs to be able to take this win away from Fisher. Of course, Fisher a part-time car, so it doesn't count on points. We've already seen him take one win this season in trucks. Will he do it again? see if we can get some stats ready for you guys on the Truck Series side of things. And don't forget either, folks, once this race is done, we do have our top 3 finishers interviews. Yeah, exactly what I expected. Fisher did take that first win at Daytona that first week. Hoppy took the win last week. Is looking to do it again. Just wanted to confirm before I started speaking and sounding like a fool. Now 10 laps to go. Hoppy trying to replicate a back-to-back win for himself. Fisher only back 0.64 of a second. Fisher trying to make the run. 0.57 now. He's losing a little bit of time, but the 83 has caught some lap traffic, that being the 25 of Klotz. Here comes Rainey, passing the 75 with ease. 8 laps to go here. We thought it could be Hoppy's race, but hold on now. There might be a fight between these 3 for the win. Fisher going to use that draft of Rainey. That's going to boost his momentum. Rainey now almost bumper to bumper with the 83 of Hoppy. A little bit of a looseness from the 4. Didn't know exactly where he needed to go. Went to the high side. Nobody in draft that time. It's getting dicey and over under from the 4 car. Hoppy not able to block it. Rainey going door to door. Gets the lead. 4 more laps to go. Rainey now currently in the lead. Hoppy still on the outside, giving him a hell of a run. Not letting him run away with it. Hoppy gets the lead back on the outside. Fisher using a little bit of that draft on the top side line to get a good arc in the bottom. Rainey back in the lead over the 83. Now needs to block to keep his positioning. He's not going to. That's going to cost him a lot of time there. Going into the corners, he has lap traffic in front. Was able to dive low, get out of the way, not be involved in any cautions. 5 more laps to go. All cards are off the table once that white flag drops, and there are no more cautions for the stage. And that's where it gets real dicey. Four more laps to go. Rainey finally looking at a possibility of a podium finish. Trying to get that win that has slipped away from him so far across all leagues since the championship 4 race. Uncertain if he was going to join us here tonight, and probably not regretting his decision now, as he is currently sitting just a few laps away from a win here. 3 laps to go. 12 more turns. There is almost a full second gap to Hoppy now. Fisher back in 3rd. They're going to need to do something here if they want to keep up with the Rain Man. This is Rainey's rear camera looking at his competition behind. Peter Hopp's rear camera looking at Fisher right now. And of course, Fisher's camera looking up to Hoppy. Wide flag is out. One more lap to go. Rainey in the lead by almost a second and a half now. No more cautions can decide the factor of this race. Hoppy, Fisher, close enough to fight for position, but far away from the leader. Now trying to gain as much time as possible. 1.6 seconds to the leader of Corey Rainey. Not going to be able to get it done, though. Corey Rainey takes the win here at Las Vegas. You know, a nice feature we've added here, allowing the cars on track to bump the leader, pull up next to him and celebrate. Let him celebrate his victory on that cool down lap. You see the top two give respect to the 4 car that time. And now it's the 4's time to burn it down. We haven't seen him burn down since the Final 4. And that's going to be a penalty on the 00 for celebrating with the teammate. Nope. He does regain. Probably was trying to burn it and keep going. We'll see on race control. That could be a penalty, but either way, the 4 car burning it down for the first time here back in Naris since the championship race at Homestead. What a good momentum booster for that 4 car now, as he has been searching for that win for a few weeks now. Corey Rainey gets it done here at Atlanta. Of course, we still have interviews with our top 3 finishers. Corey Rainey finishes in first, Hoppy in second, Fisher in third, Charlie Bennett in 4th place, and Josh Ryder rounding out your top 5 here tonight. Drivers should be ready to roll here for their interviews. We'll give them a few more seconds as we go ahead and get set up here. Now we're going to go ahead and pull in our 3rd place finisher. That is the 9 in Cup 75 here tonight of Jordan Fisher. Hey, Jordan, you got a copy, boss?
I sure do.
So, tough night for you. Of course, battling a little bit of a sickness here and still managed to run 150 laps. So, kudos to you. Overall, an insane situation to be in. Fighting for the lead, a majority of all three stages here. You had a decent amount of laps led by the end of the night, but just came up 2 positions short. Of course, this track kind of being unforgiving without draft. We saw it a lot of times here. It was very hard to pass in clean air. You kind of needed that dirty air and that draft air to really kind of push your position. How did the truck feel for you tonight at all while you were in the lead, and of course while you were kind of drafting to try to pull yourself to that lead position?
Truck felt great. Some points I wish it was a little more tighter. Some points I wish it was a little more looser. The tire fall off was not at all what I was expecting. I don't think anyone else was expecting that either. Just because the track rubbered up so quick, and you'd be plowing tight into one, and then you get loose off of 4 and hit the wall. Overall, a good night. Not mad about it. Kind of wish my pit crew didn't mess up on one of my stops and use a set of tires I didn't want to use, but 3rd place, I can't be mad at that.
I mean, looking here, you started in 7th place. You really didn't fall out of that top 5 much at all, if any, other than pit cycles. Tire fall off really being the big factor here. Do you feel like the farther it went into the race, the later it got at night, the harder those tires burnt? Oh, we lost him.
And I'm back.
Oh, there he goes.
Back.
So I'll repeat that.
I missed all of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll repeat that question for you. You started in 7th place. You really didn't fall out of that top 5 much other than a pit cycle, of course, able to gain that back. The darker it got here, the more that sun went down, and the later it got into the race at night. Do you feel like that tire fall off was a little bit harder?
Yeah, no, tire fall off definitely got worse as the night went on. During the day period of the race, everything was loose just because the track was green. There was no rubber laid down on a race trim kind of racetrack, but definitely was cooking the right front a lot more than I think myself and anyone else wanted to do, because people were just pushing so hard, and you saw a couple trucks slap the wall. I caught it a couple of times. Overall, the track just tightened up way too much. I don't know what was going on with it, but still a very, very fun night. It played well into pit strategy to see who was going to take tires early, who was going to take tires later. Yeah, just a really, really fun night.
Now, of course, other than having that accidental set of tires be used and, taken out of your pit stall, do you feel like there was anything different you could have done to possibly boost your outcome in this race? Or, are you just really not too worried about the could haves and, what should have, and you're just content with your 3rd place finish here? I mean, you got the first win of the season, finished top 3 in the 3rd, came close to it last week as well. Of course, Hoppy did get that win. So, I mean, how are you? Do you really feel like there's any differences that could have, probably boosted you to get that win here tonight?
No, because once that set got used out of my stall, I kind of made my own bed. On that pit stop, the 08 was just on my bumper, and I was fidgeting with fuel buttons and trying to make sure that I had my tires unchecked, but I never got to that. I never got that call out, and got distracted because of the 08. We had a caution. It was the last caution that we had, and I was thinking about pitting just for fuel, just to see how far I could maybe go. I definitely did not want to use up my last set of tires on that pit stop because if I did, I wouldn't have finished inside of the top 8. I was hoping that the 4 and everyone else would pit a little bit later. That would just give them much less time to catch us overall on the pit cycle. 83 did a great job keeping up with me. It sucks for Owen. He got screwed on his strategy. Apparently his team didn't even put fuel in the truck at all. He had to come back down a second time. But no, overall, I don't think I could have done anything else to prevent Corey from either winning or helping myself advance. My truck got tight at one point while I was leading, and that basically just gave it on to Hoppy. And at this track, with how big these spoilers are and the dirty air and everything, you can't pass unless somebody in front of you has a mistake, like I did. I don't know why my truck got tight. I don't know what happened going into turn 3 and 4. But yeah, dirty air played a big role in it, and I just could never catch back up to them.
Now, of course, before we let you go here, you know the shtick. You know what goes on. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody?
You overall, sticking with us, putting on the show for us to put on the show. Big kudos to you for what you do behind the scenes with the broadcasting. All the drivers that come out to participate in these races that make this league tick. Everyone that watches on the YouTube and Twitch side, my family, my friends, my teammates that show support for the team overall. I love coming out here every single Friday and Saturday night to run these races because they keep me humble because I don't know what to expect. And it's not even a Talladega or Daytona race.
Well, of course, congratulations to you on the 3rd place finish. Wasn't what you were looking for, but definitely gives you a lot of practice moving forward to tomorrow for the Casino Royale for the Gen 6 cars. So definitely look forward to seeing if you'll be able to replicate another top 3 finish, possibly a win there tomorrow. And we hope to be talking to you again tomorrow as well in the top 3.
Yes, sir. We'll see you tomorrow.
You have a good one. That was our 3rd place finisher of Jordan Fisher. Now, of course, going to our 2nd place finisher, the man who won last week, came up just a little bit short this week, that being the 83 of Peter Hoppy.
Hello.
So, I was right. We're talking to you again. I was right on the last name, and I was right on the call out last week. We're talking to you again, just unfortunately not in the winner's circle this week. You showed good signs of a possibility of another win here with that qualifying time. Pretty early on that kind of fell off for you. It seemed like you were either struggling to keep that lead with some of the competition around, or you were playing that strategy gas game of trying to stay in as much draft as possible. Kind of take us through, where you feel like you could have improved on and, held position a little bit harder. We saw Owen take stage 1 and 2, and then you kind of got that surge midway through stage 2 into 3, but just fell up a little short.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit loose in the beginning there with the sun still out, and I kind of set my brake bias and everything for the nighttime because I was expecting to get faster and tighter, and still held pretty good for stage points. I mean, it was kind of a wreck fest, but it was decently fun. Yeah, Owen and Jordan were definitely the fastest guys. Thankfully, Corey got back into the race and got his laps back. He just disconnected at the start of the race, lost connection. And it was a very fun race. Coming to that last round of pit stops, I definitely closed down on Jordan and Owen really quickly. I got around Owen before he pit, and then sadly he messed up on pits and got no fuel when he pitted, so he had to come back down. So that's unfortunate for him. It would have been a good battle. I think the three of us up there could have possibly held Corey up a little bit more, besides just the Jordan and I. But Corey had a very good strategy on tires, and yeah, got us in the end there.
Now, of course, it was a good race overall from the skies to watch. Not many reckless accidents. Of course, a lot of racing incidents with a majority of people in the back end of the field. Not much in the front end. I feel like you guys kind of got your groove early on, were able to pull away pretty easily and kind of maintain that position for a while, with even within the fighting with each other. Do you feel like any of those cautions within the first two stages kind of threw off strategy a little bit, maybe for not only for you but for other people, and could have, costed maybe you a few positions within, stage 1 and 2?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, there was one time we came down pit road. I think Corey stayed out, and no. We just all came down pit road, and iRacing kind of messed us up a little bit. My tire went in the grass a little bit on pit road, and made me take a set of tires when I didn't want to. But yeah, I mean, fought back, ended up kind of spinning into Charlie a little bit there. I apologize to him. Got a little tighter than we wanted to in the front up there. But no, I think it definitely came down to that last caution that really split the field for strategy. I think the other cautions weren't as bad for strategy calls, maybe for the stage win or something. But yeah, I was just trying to get a good long run because I felt real confident in the long run. The short run wasn't quite there.
Now, of course, you won last week, had a lot of momentum going into this week as the winner. Tried to get that back-to-back run, just fell a little bit short. I mean, of course, we've already asked, how the truck felt. The tire wear was really a big situation. With this stage 3 being 70 laps, and then you guys kind of being acclimated to those first two at 40, do you feel like that was also another wrench in plans, not only for you, but for other drivers as well?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the caution in stage 3 didn't help. If it went green, we would have just split it all the way down a fuel run. Maybe some people would have gone a little earlier. But yeah, stage 3 was definitely the better strategy stage, because the first two stages were just kind of just too short. You could have split it at like 20 laps each, but the cautions messed that up. I mean, the tire wear wasn't as terrible. In these trucks, I was still going full throttle mostly. It's just you don't have the speed off the corner as you do with the new tires. So, but it was definitely a strategic finish at the end there.
Now, of course, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your Friday night, we'd always love to ask if you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out my team owner, Spencer Morris of Hive Motorsports, giving me the opportunity to drive this beautiful 83 truck in here. Got to shout out our paint scheme designer, Jason Beckman, creating beautiful schemes for us. Shout out to Jordan Fisher for running this league. This is really fun. I love it. And yeah, shout out to you for a great broadcast tonight.
Well, of course, we appreciate you showing up and showing out for us here in the booth. Congratulations on the second place finish. I know it wasn't the takeaway you were wanting. You were one, of course. You always want to go back to back, but you'll just have to see next week if it will be your week to redeem yourself. Of course, next week we go to, well, not next week, excuse me. We are off until April 10th for the Truck Series, and we come back at Auto Club, and that will hopefully be your redemption and possibly another interview up here in the booth.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite tracks too.
I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing what you're going to have in store for the guys, especially with enough time to be able to practice.
Also, quickly, just want to say, I hope to see you maybe tomorrow night as I make my Cup debut and as a part-time driver.
Oh, man. No, it's going to be a good one. Definitely going to keep eyes on you then.
Yeah, should be fun.
We'll definitely look forward to seeing what you're going to do tomorrow night in the Gen 6, man. We hope you have the rest of a good night. Definitely look forward to possibly talking to you tomorrow.
Yeah, same here.
That was our second place finisher, the 83 of Peter Hoppy. And this means there's only room for one more. The man who beat all odds last season was able to win himself in at Martinsville and take season 2 for himself, the reigning, defending season 2 champion for the Cup side. Now gets his first win of the season in total for Naris, Mr. Corey Rainey, aka the Rain Man.
We meet again, T-Bone.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be another 21-week split before we talked again.
yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
So, I mean, incredible race for you tonight. You, of course, had network issues early on in the race. Was still able to qualify second, but when the grid came out, you were not on the grid. Went a lap down. Luckily, early caution came out, put you back on that lead lap, and then it was pure fight for the rest of the race for you. We really saw that resurgence from you come back in about second stage. Primarily the beginning of stage 3 is really where you honed it in with that ram and just pushed it into the lead. Now, where do you kind of feel about the race? Do you feel like you could have had a few more spots early on in stage 1 and 2, or was this the plan to really hold it until 3?
Man, I was panicking there at the beginning. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but we'll call it as an alternator problem on the truck. So we had some electrical problems. So we had to jump on the pit road, change the battery out, and we had to do that probably like another time before stage 2, I think. So I don't know, man. Like, there were some fast trucks, the 83, of course, Owen, like that, like him not getting gas on that last pit stop. That was, I've been there. I've been there in Michigan last year, so I know exactly how that feels. Especially when you have the truck to win. Jordan had an incredible race. There was a couple of other trucks that were up there. The 8, the 32 was pretty good tonight too. So I don't know how we would have done if I didn't have that alternator problem. We did qualify second. I left a little bit out there because I didn't get any practice laps in. So those first 2 qualifying laps were my practice laps of the race. So kind of left a little bit out there because I was scared I was going to get loose coming out of 4. So, but we qualified second. Got into like 2 wrecks. Luckily, we didn't have any damage on either one. And once that caution came out in stage 3, I told my teammate, I was like, hey, let's get tires here and let's just push it. And let's just hope it stays green, and then we'll just cut this stage in half. And it worked out. I just wish the 0-1 was up there with me because he was right there coming up through the field. And after his pit stop, like, he dropped back like another 5-6 seconds. So I don't know what happened there. But all in all, glad to give Ram his first win in NARS, RVR's first truck win. But yeah, overall, man, it was a good race. I'm excited about tomorrow.
Now, of course, we've already heard from second and third place. The later it got in the race, the darker it got on the track here, the worse the tires got. Did you kind of feel the same, situation with you was happening? Your tire fall off got way stronger in the later stages of the race. The darker it gets here, sometimes the more humid it gets. And then, of course, pushing harder, trying to get positions, changing lanes, changing lines. Do you feel like that tire wear got like drastically stronger within the final wrap up laps of stage 3?
I really didn't see a difference. Even in that first stage, whenever I came back into the lobby, it took a set of tires off. So I started off with 5 sets of tires. So even then I knew the truck was strong because me and the 01 was trying a new setting to see if it worked for tomorrow night, and it was very beneficial to us. Like I said, I had to start with 5 sets of tires, and I couldn't pit that first stage, and I still finished top 10 on 30 lap old tires. So I knew we were gonna be good on the long run regardless. So, but no, I really didn't see a difference in the tire fall off. Actually, the truck got even better the later the night got. So that's good information for us for tomorrow, and yeah, I mean, overall, it's just a great night for us.
Now, of course, we haven't seen you win a race is spread out between all leagues and series for a few weeks now since everything's been kicked back up. We haven't seen you get a win since the championship race at Homestead. We were expecting that possibility of resurgence for Vegas after, we sat there and created an hour-long vignette for you. Unfortunately, wasn't able to take it then. How do you feel like this truck win, being the first Dodge Ram to put itself in victory lane in the trucks, and now first victory for you in the season, is going to really push you on the Cup side?
Momentum is everything. As you can see, that 83 truck tonight, he definitely had momentum from last weekend. And obviously, of course, your team, Steel City, they've been rolling the past 2 weeks. Really, to be honest, I got to get this internet problem fixed because that's what cost us at Daytona. And then, of course, last week we got a top 5 out of a lot of chaos on that last lap. So, yeah, man, overall, man, it's really just got to lock in. 1 second, my AirPod died. Give me a second.
This guy.
But yeah. Yeah, just got to lock in, be flawless, make some gambles. It's Vegas. We made a gamble tonight and it paid off for us.
Well, of course, in the right state, in the right mindset to be gambling here in Vegas, it's normally where you walk in with $1,000 and you walk out with $2,000. Fortunately for you, you walked out with $100,000 tonight. So,
yeah,
I mean, definitely benefited. Of course, now that you got the first win in trucks out, hopefully we're going to see a lot more from you down here in the Truck Series. What races do you feel like you possibly have the opportunity to go grab another win at?
Really haven't looked at the schedule, to be honest, and that's my bad. We're good at Auto Club for sure. Good at Michigan. Of course, my home track, Texas. We're gonna be good there. It just, like I said, it just depends, on the track temps, on the track conditions. Man, I mean, this is NARS, man. Anybody can win a race. So, I mean, you just got to lock in, be focused, stay on everything, make good decisions. Make sure you got the right track position. You know, make sure pit stops are flawless. As you can see tonight, pit stop cost somebody possibly to win tonight. So you just got to be on it in this series because I mean, once you win, I mean, you're in the show, and that's the goal is to get into the show, and then anything can happen as you saw last year.
Well, of course, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, we always love to ask if you have any shout outs you'd like to give.
Yeah, man. A shout out the team. Shout out Mark Randall. DJ. We miss DJ. He'll be back in a few weeks. Shout out Johnny Road Truck. Everybody at the shop, man. Chassis, the body shops. All the sponsors: Jordan Menards, Beatbox, Sprite, Dude Wipes, Monster Energy, Dick's Resort. Got a lot of sponsors, and shout out to my girl. She's in there watching. So thank you for watching, Candace. I hope you enjoyed the race. And also thank you, bro. You know, we love watching you. We love what you do, man. And keep doing what you do because we really appreciate you.
Well, of course, we were wondering when the time would come. Of course, it's not the Gen 6, so we're still looking for that. But you finally got the first win of the year out of the way. So hopefully it's nothing but up here for you. Congratulations on the victory tonight. We definitely look forward to seeing what you're going to be able to replicate with the team tomorrow at Vegas in the Gen 6, and definitely what's to come, not only for the Truck Series for you, but for the Gen 6 as you are defending a championship.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I can't wait to watch what happens.
You have a good one.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
That was your winner, number 4 of Corey Rainey. An incredible night we've had here today. Not many cars actually wrecked out of the race. Of course, now official results. Corey Rainey takes the win here at Las Vegas. 27 laps led by him. Peter Hopp finishes in second. He led 9 laps of the race. Jordan Fisher landed a third place position with 33 laps in the lead. Charlie Bennett finishing in fourth. Led 14 laps himself tonight. Josh Ryder rounding out your top 5. Of course, it has been an insane race. Not many, I guess you would call it purposeful wrecks here. A lot of racing incidences. And that's, of course, what you expect at a track like Vegas in the trucks. The later it gets, the crazier the racing gets, the deeper in the stages that you go, the more difficult it is for some drivers to reiterate that strategy that they've been practicing all week. Sometimes wrenches get thrown in plans, just like with the 14 of Owen Lax. Unfortunately, did not get gas. Had to go back in. So that possibly took his win away, and a sweep for him, which still would have put a Dodge in victory lane. But an unfortunate situation for that 14 tonight. Of course, all in all, great racing. Fantastic racing. A lot of good racing etiquette across the board from these drivers. A lot of faces we will see tomorrow night as well. Not just here. Rainey being one of them. Fisher being another. Bennett, Ryder, Randall. And the list goes on and on. So, of course, a lot of people getting practice in tonight for tomorrow. Of course, Gen 6s are a little bit different. Well, I can't say a little. They are a lot different than these cars. They can take a little bit more of a beating, but they do still get loose just the same amount. So it's going to be difficult for those drivers to now reacclimate themselves to that Gen 6 to keep it pushing in a good direction. But we only have less than 24 hours now before green flag. So, of course, be sure to check us back out tomorrow night for NARIS. Saturday nights, 8:45 Eastern is your green flag. American Stock Car Racing League on Mondays, and right time on Wednesdays and Thursdays for the ARCA and Truck Series. We definitely look forward to the rest of the season for trucks. It has been a crazy inaugural season to start off with. And of course, the rest of the calendar race season for the Gen 6. The first time the Gen 6 cars have went to a full calendar year, and it has not disappointed yet. So until tomorrow, when we come back to Vegas for the Crown Royale 300 on behalf of NARIS, Fisher Studios Truck Series, and Asphalt Racing Network, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us in here tonight, whether it was live or the re-upload. Until next time, we hope to see you again.